Let's go and get Monday underway. Hey, it's President's Day, by the way. How about that? It's weird. It's one of those days that just shouldn't be this way, but it's become one of those floating holidays that nobody knows what to do with. Why don't we take President's Day? No, what just wrapped up recently here, where we all wanted a day off, but we didn't get one, and the NFL wants to expand the schedule. What would be wrapping up right about now? The Super Bowl. Why don't we just make President's Day a real holiday again and make it the Monday after the Super Bowl so everybody's happy and we'll all chill out and don't make it a floating holiday? But it is, I guess, non-essential government employees, which we're hearing a lot about these days, are off today. So things like, the post office, some libraries, floating holiday for most people. I don't know. It's a weird one. Mostly we've just turned this into a mattress and a car sale day. It's what it is. But happy President's Day to you regardless. And happy birthday, George Washington. We love you. Thanks for being the father of our country. And thanks for finding Wicked Radio. Appreciate you so much. I hope you had an awesome weekend. All kinds of crap happened over the weekend. I'm going to try to catch you up on all these characters making news because there's a lot of it. Elon made news and another baby, and along with another baby, 13th, comes more Elon baby mama drama. It's tough for me to even figure out what the heck is going on here, so we'll try to map out the lay of the land. We also had, speaking of President's Day, Daytona Dawn. Started off the Daytona 500, the Great American Race, on the track itself. Did what he did a few years ago, where he brought the Beast, the presidential vehicle, on the track, did a lap. It was fantastic. We did that, as well as what I think was the greatest thing over the weekend. They call it the Four Nations Tournament. Now, the NHL replaced its All-Star game with something that was way better. They put four nations in a tournament. And Canada versus USA did not disappoint. It was fantastic. We'll get to that. But thanks for finding Wicked Radio and the audio podcast, by the way. Wherever you get those, whatever platform you prefer. And if you're an audio listener, this is live as a live stream Monday through Friday every single day at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. YouTube, Facebook, X, wherever you choose. But let's get right to it. And I appreciate you so much for the follows and the shares. All right. Speaking of President's Day, it is President's Day. We don't really know what to do with it anymore, but President Trump knew what to do with it over the weekend. He was not going to miss an opportunity to get in front of all the NASCAR dads, as they call them, which is still a massive voting bloc, which is really why he's there. But he kicked off the Great American Race like he did, I think it was once before. He might have done it twice in the first term, where he took the Beast, the presidential vehicle, which is incredibly heavy, apparently, with all the weaponry and the armament in it. And along with the motorcade, they drove it around the track at Daytona, and it was fantastic. But then they gave him the microphone, where you can hook up on the PA system, and you can reach all the other drivers with their communication system. And they turned the microphone over to Daytona Dawn, and this is how it all went down.
And Mr. President, the radio is yours.
And it took a while to pass the microphone to the president, and he said this.
This is your favorite president. I'm a big fan. I am a really big fan of you people that you do this. I don't know, but I just want you to be safe. You're talented people, and you're great people and great Americans. Have a good day. Have a lot of fun, and I'll see you later.
I'm a big fan of you people. This is your favorite president. I don't know. I think he likes doing this kind of stuff. Have you noticed? But now, Reagan was like this. W was definitely like this. Presidents who absolutely love the sports element of the things they get to do. But Trump is a big, I've said this many times. I don't know what or where. Well, I think it would be in Florida. But his presidential library someday, I swear he's just going to collect. It's going to look like a, your favorite sports bar with all this memorabilia he's collected. All the people that have gave him like a football helmet or a, baseball jersey or a hockey stick or whatever it is that he's all collected. You're going to see more sports memorabilia in his presidential library than presidential papers, most likely. I don't know, but he loves doing that kind of stuff. Great American Race got underway. Rain delays as always, but I feel good for NASCAR. They need a boost. I don't understand why they've fallen off the tracks, so to speak, so much recently. But through all the COVID crap and all the sports problems they've had, if there was any one league, if there was any one, sports adventure that should have done well throughout these past few years, it should have been NASCAR, and they just didn't. So we need it. But the Great American Race got underway. Good for them. Let's talk about the biggest event. I love when sports entwine American culture and everything else going on in the world, and it's all kind of symbolic of what's happening here. Did you see what happened on the ice in Montreal, Canada over the weekend. It was Saturday night, in fact. Now, maybe you're not too aware of the NHL. I totally get that. I was even kind of like, impartially even watching this thing in the beginning. But boy, did it turn out to be great. So the NHL decided to drop their All-Star game this year, and instead they went with a tournament, a Four Nations tournament. So it was the U.S., of course, and Canada, of course, and Sweden, big hockey nation, and Finland for a four-nation tournament. And they'll find a winner at the end and everything else like this. And all the tension that's been going on with Canada and the U.S. and Trump threatening to make it the 51st state and just embarrassing Justin Trudeau and trade sanction threats and all this good stuff. It just added an extra element to the Four Nations tournament. So it finally happened Saturday night. The second round game where the U.S. takes on Team Canada in Montreal. And, well, let's just start with what kicked it all off. Our national anthem, now sung by, and very well, by some Canadian National Guard dude. I felt terrible for him because he did a great anthem, did a great version of it. But the Canadians took that as an opportunity to boo and make their voices heard. By the way, encouraged by Canadian media personalities and sports people and some players. That's important and relevant to the story here. And the booing went down like this. Oh, here they come. Here it is. Come on, bring it on. Bring it on. They were loud. All right, I'm just going to add this, this little piece to the puzzle here, because this was a different element, and that was booing on an international stage, which, by the way, apparently got massive ratings. It was huge, big, worldwide ratings. I will add this just to throw this in there for some background. Just being a hockey fan, I'm used to Canadians in Montreal booing the national anthem, but also not quite like this, and not with all the other side elements that were thrown into this mix. Okay, so you boo the anthem, you show that kind of disrespect. How did the American team handle it? And I'm sure you saw the video of this. Maybe not the background, but the video of it. How do you handle that? Do you whine about it? Do you talk to the press later? You know, do you go to the NHL and these international tournament teams and you whine about it and you try to sanction them and you file a complaint? And no, you boo the anthem, prepare to drop the gloves, and get your ass kicked on the ice, which is exactly what happened. 3 fights within the first 9 seconds, and it was absolutely, completely beautiful and glorious.
And the gloves are off. Hagel from Tampa Bay, Kachuk from Florida. Did not see this coming. Both sides said they hoped it wouldn't happen tonight. It did. It's helped set the tone. Charlie McAvoy put one on net. Now we're 9 seconds in. We had a fight 2 seconds in, another one 1 second later. Now in the center of the action, it's Colton Parayko and JT Miller.
This is like 1996.
Oh, it's just glorifying violence in the game. No, it's not. It's taking care of business is what it is. Now, is there something else that went into this besides booing the anthem? Sure. Apparently, this is all originated in a group text. Let's remember now. These are a lot of players that know each other. Now, they're divided up by their home nations, but they play on the same team in many cases. They're friends. They're this and that. All of that went aside, and this is why it was so great as they represented their countries. Might have been something else going on besides booing the anthem, and I totally understand that, but it doesn't matter. The takeaway, perception is reality. The takeaway is, and what a great way to handle it. Not whining, not complaining, not filing a sports sanction. No. They dropped the gloves and they beat the absolute shit out of the team that actually booed their anthem. What a great statement to make. Fantastic. And by the way, the end of the result, 3-1 American win. On Canadian ice, their game, you got to understand, and my Canadian friends understand this, hockey is like, that's in their DNA. This is their thing. They had won in international games something like 20-something games in a row, too. This was a massive deal. It was huge. But what got most people interested in it, and apparently the ratings kind of, reflected this, was all the little side elements that went into it as well. All of this tension, right? All of this tension. A lot of it solved on the ice in a nonviolent, for us, kind of way. It was great. It was great the way this was handled. This is what got so many people excited. And by the way, if ratings for this was so good, Canada and Team U.S. probably, most likely, are going to play again. This tournament shifts down to Boston for I think the third round of games. Just absolutely fantastic. I love it. That was great. It was a great thing to check out, even if you're not a hockey fan. But I will tell you this: if you are a hockey fan, this probably excited you. If you're an old school hockey fan or an old school sports fan and handling things this way, this got you really happy. And if the NHL doesn't take note and drop a stupid all-star game that nobody cares about where there's no passion and replace it with something like this, with a four-team tournament every single year, great. Now compare this and the excitement it generated. This made international news headlines. Best possible publicity for the NHL that they could ever possibly have. Huge, massive, and so much more interest for the rest of this tournament. Now compare that to what the NBA did. Some stupid-looking all-star game last night that had, were there 2 games? I don't even know. I had such little interest. And they play for players, name the teams. It's not East-West. Just stupid. God, NHL came out on top of that one, but good for them. But what's the takeaway? It's if somebody think of the Canadians as a person in your life or in business, right? They disrespect you. What are you going to do? Whine about it? No, you kick their ass. It was the best possible way to handle it. It was great in a sports kind of sense. I can't wait to follow up with the rest of that thing. And apparently there's a lot of interest, so I love it. All right. And this happened over the weekend as well that I'm sure you heard about. And if you're confused by it, don't be sad. No one completely understands it. The main headline, the takeaway, what we can all gather from this is Elon Musk had his 13th baby with his fourth baby mama over the weekend. That on its own, he did say he wants to repopulate the earth. I just didn't think he was going to do it himself. But that happened. But then the drama happened as far as who the baby mama is. If you're going to have that many baby mamas, I think you got to expect to have baby mama drama, don't you? Now, here's the difference. If you or I had been through this kind of thing, that's a completely different story. Elon is, depending on who you ask and when you ask the question, the richest person in the world. He can afford to have that kind of baby mama drama. But regardless, it's a complicated story, but still a wild one. And I hate to do this to you. I don't like to read articles because you can do that on your own. But to try to get a sense of what the hell this is all about, I'm going to go to the Daily Mail, a UK publication, but they're good with the drama element and sometimes the celebrity element of this kind of stuff to try to understand what's going on. So I'll just give you their write-up on it from yesterday because a lot has happened. And I'll give you the headline, too. This is from the Daily Mail. Elon Musk's baby mama, Ashley St. Clair, more on her, who's 26, launches a tirade on the billionaire as he reposts a Milo Yiannopoulos post. Oh, boy. Remember him? He's back. Milo. Anyway, so the woman claimed to be Elon's baby mama, who's this Ashley St. Clair, launched a blistering tirade on the tech billionaire because he responded to an earlier post about her. So Ashley St. Clair is described, I don't know whether this is even accurate. Does she describe herself as this or not? I don't know. But most people that I've seen describe her as a conservative MAGA influencer. What exactly is that, by the way? It's kind of weird. Anyway, she took to X on Friday sharing that Musk, who's 53, is the father of the child she gave birth to 5 months ago, a daughter, and they're doing well, I guess. So welcomed a baby into the world. I had not previously disclosed this, but a tabloid was going to get a hold of it, blah, 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 blah. And then she blasts him for saying that they've been trying to reach out to him or something, and he hasn't responded, and yet he did respond to that post about her, blah, blah, blah. Now, the post he responded to was someone claiming that this Ashley had been targeting Elon to have a baby in so many words and trap him for like 10 years. And Elon said, whoa. Now, there's other people that are saying that this Ashley St. Clair is a woman scorned, a baby mama scorned, which is 10 times worse because Elon's been posting a lot about his family and one of the other baby mamas and how happy he is, and he always has a little X by his side. Maybe that caused it. I don't know. My take on this is no matter what you do with your life, it's your life. It's what you do, right? Just hope everybody's happy and healthy, and if it's consensual, nobody's hurt, and everybody's good with that. That's my take. But there's two weird things that happen with this. And it happens a lot in, just because I observe it so much, and I know so many of them. Weird thing within so-called conservative or MAGA circles that happen. There's a big element in that scares people away that is like they try to grab the moral higher ground, the holier than thou. And they try to claim that's what conservatism is, and it's only one Christian view, and it's only one traditional wife thing, and I got to tell you, I've always gone by this term conservative. I just call it common sense, but this term conservative, you know where the term came from, conservative versus liberal? It's a conservative view of the Constitution, conservative interpretation where you don't mess with it, versus a liberal view of the Constitution where you mess with it according to the times. That's where those terms came from, and it got twisted to mean some sort of morality. It really did. I will tell you this, too. What scares a lot of people away, and always has, from a conservative movement is this so-called moral higher ground, where it's tied directly into religious or moral values and not what's best for the country. It scares a lot of people away. It does. And the second weird thing about this is, I know the liberals have them too. What's a conservative influencer? Like it's weird. I kind of noticed this over the past few years. Not so much the first term for Trump, but this election cycle and now leading into it, you do find a lot of that. Like younger, very, very socially active, at least on social media, usually very hot, very attractive, women who have kind of like, I hate to say it, weaseled their way into like these kinds of circles, the MAGA circles, with very powerful people. You do seem to see that a lot. I've noticed it a lot. And is she one of those? I don't know, but there are a lot of those. It's probably just for the power or the clout or the influence. I'm not too sure, but what a weird take all the way around. But again, if you have that many baby mamas, you're going to have baby mama drama. It's just going to happen. Just hope everybody's okay. Whatever. Everybody live their own lives and be their own. All right, and the second takeaway today, of course, if you're going to disrespect the anthem, prepare to drop the gloves in any aspect of life. How about that? Thanks for finding me. Wicked good Monday for you is on the way. I can just feel it now. It's going to be an awesome, awesome good week. Thanks for finding me and the audio podcast, by the way, for you live stream viewers. It's always on your preferred audio podcast platform, wherever you get those, whatever you want to do. It's always right there. And I appreciate the shares, too. That's been going up and up, so I appreciate you very much for hanging out with me. And you audio listeners, it's on as a live stream and reposted every single day on any of these platforms, on X, Facebook, or YouTube as well. And soon to be on Instagram, but I haven't figured that quite out yet. Right now, it's just clips on there. Whatever. There's a lot to do. Thanks for hanging out. And again, the main takeaway, as always, have a wicked awesome Monday and don't take any crap from anybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow.